First of all, I thank everyone for showing interest to learn photography and who reached to this second class. For all new viewers, I kept the first photography class in the description below. Please watch that before this new video. Today we are going to talk about ISO, aperture and shutter speed. In order to understand for each and everyone, I will not use perfect terminologies and I will explain in a best possible way where anyone can understand. These three concepts are common in any camera and very much important. If you know these three how they will work, you can just create magics. This video is a theoretical class and in next session I will explain ISO, shutter and aperture practically in outdoor location. Let's talk about shutter speed. In short way to understand, it's the time taken by the camera to capture a photo, generally numbered as 100, 1/200, 1000 or they also define as 1/100, 1/200 or 1/1000. So what is this 1/100, 1/200? This 1/200 is a fraction of seconds a picture can be taken from a camera. Okay, just leave everything and let's go for a little more simple way. Take your hands and clap fast within a second. And similarly clap your hands with 2 seconds. Both are possible, right? You can take 2 seconds to clap or you can also clap below 1 second. So similar action will happen inside a camera to capture a photo. So this action is called shutter speed. I'll just show you a small video in order to understand shutter speed. So this is what will happen when you are clicking on the shutter button. So once if you press, this will go up and the cover or the shutter will open. And light is directly connecting or contacting to the sensor and will automatically close and back to normal. So how much duration the sensor is seeing the light is a fraction of seconds or seconds you define the shutter speed. So this 1/200, this 1/100, 1/1000 is the time or the fraction of seconds the sensor is open to the light. So by seeing this video, you can also say that a curtain kind of material which opens up the sensor to accept the light, in same way you can also just consider that as shutter. So here you can identify two things. First one is basically if you keep more seconds, more light will come inside. And second one is if you keep fraction of seconds, less light will enter. Let's talk about the practical usage. So when to use fractions like 1/200, 1/400 and when to use 1 second, 2 second and 4 second. So when you buy any camera or phone, your default setting will be 1/200, 1/400, 1/800 or similar setting because these are the general settings. So let's come to the point. When you're taking any object which is moving, you have to capture a millisecond shot. Then you have to keep 1/1000 or 1/2000. I'll explain in detail in the next class with real-time example. If your model is standing on a road or sitting on a road and if you ask your friends to throw some flowers and if you want to capture the best shot, then obviously you have to go for milliseconds or fractions which is 1/2000 or 1/1000. So this photo is exactly taken in the same way. Not only this, anything fast moving or actions you have to go for 1/800 or more. So when to use 1 second, 2 second or low shutter photos. So practically more seconds a sensor can capture light, then more light will enter. So here there are two cases. The first case is when you want more light during the night photos, possible numbers you can keep is 1/60 or 1/30. But when you're using low shutter, this is actually a process happening mechanically. So camera should not shake or pictures will come shaky. It's like when you're writing, what will happen if someone gonna move your hand? Suddenly you may scribble, right? So it's the same. So here if you can see, actually when I'm trying to take a photo, it's little low. I just went for the low shutter and I have used a tripod to take this photo. And coming to the second usage. So low shutters also will be useful for light trails and Milky Way shots. I will practically show in the upcoming classes and let's go for the next topic. So the next topic is aperture. In simple way to understand, it's the opening of the lens which light passes. When we talk about bokeh photos, we talk about aperture. When you're buying a new camera or a phone or any lens, you will see these numbers like f1.8, f2.8, f4. So usually aperture is noted as f and some number. I'm not using the exact terminology. Some people will say 1.8 is more and some people will say 1.8 is less. For your proper understanding, I will say small numbers as small aperture like 1.8, 2.8 and other similar numbers, and high numbers as high aperture, which is f22 or f18. So when to use which aperture? When you are planning to take a nice portrait of a single person or a couple, and if you don't mind of background with a bokeh shot, you should just go for low apertures like f2.8 and f1.8. Here if you can see, background is properly blurred and you can see a nice portrait image of her. But in this mode, if you try taking a group photo, the second round people or the third round people will just get blurred. So that is the place you have to use higher aperture like f8 or above, either a group photo or if you are taking a nice scenery. Everything will be captured in detail. So in simple way to understand, keep your palm close to your eyes. When it is close to your eyes can see so keen that your palm is properly focused and rest is blurred. When it slowly goes far, your eye can see everything normal without any blur. Similarly, aperture work with lenses. I will explain this concept again in detail in the practical class. So let's talk about the ISO. So ISO is actually defined as the sensitivity of the sensor to capture a picture. In simple way to understand, it's increasing or decreasing the brightness artificially. When you have too much of light because of midsummer afternoon, people will say that it is too much of harsh light. So obviously you have to decrease the light artificially so that you will get a proper image. So just decrease to ISO 100, then you can able to capture a decent photo. And in another case, if you are trying to capture a night photo where light is very less, you can increase the ISO, which will result in a decent photo. But during night, increasing of too much ISO will result you in grains. Grains is nothing but dots in the picture. So if you can see, in a same place with the same temperature, everything, a camera shot the same scene with different ISOs. So here if you can see, low they made. Here why? Because he want to only capture the rainbow, and here little mild, and here little moderate, and here it is purely dry, and it's like completely dry. So according to your personal interest also, you can change your exposure or ISO. So by now you understood what is shutter, what is ISO and what is aperture. But what you didn't learn is these all three, aperture, shutter, ISO are interconnected. If you change shutter, you have to change ISO. If you change aperture, you have to change the ISO. So all these three are interconnected. So I'll explain that in the upcoming classes, mostly which will be the practical class. And also in the upcoming video, we are going to talk about the rules of photography and framing as well. So thank you once again for your valuable time and hope this class is useful for you. If you are having any query, just comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.